Preston, are you for, against or abstaining?
For.
Thank you. Councillor Ian Thomas, are you for, against or abstaining?
For.
Thank you. And that's carried, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Monitor Officer. Item 6 on the agenda, maternity, paternity and adoption leave policy. To consider the report of the Chief Executive and Councillor Andrew Barry.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Maternity, paternity and adoption leave policy. With new legislation introduced from the 8th of March this year, paternity leave regulations 2024, giving fathers, partners greater flexibility in relation to how they take their statutory paternity leave. It's a straightforward report to bring the council's own policy into line. We've got Hannah with us tonight. Should you have any technical questions, there are no financial implications to this report, so I'll go straight to the recommendations at 2.1, which are the changes to the maternity, paternity and adoption leave policy detailed at paragraph 3.3 be approved. At 2.2, the delegation of authority to the head of human resources in consultation with the portfolio member to make any future minor amendments to the policy be approved. I move the policy change, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Barry. Do we have a seconder, please? Councillor Michelle Simmons.
Seconding the report.
Thank you, Councillor Simmons. Any questions on the report, please? No questions. Any comments? No comments. We go straight to the vote then, please.
Councillor Jill Preston, are you for, against or abstaining?
For.
Thank you. Councillor Ian Thomas, are you for, against or abstaining?
For.
Thank you. And that's Councillor Michelle Jones. That's carried, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Monitor Officer. Item 7 on the agenda, Director's Remuneration Report has been withdrawn. Next item, item 8, Information Reports Only. And item 8, Annual Report on Social Services 23-24. And item 9, Cwmtaf Morgannwg Safeguarding Annual Report. Item 10 on the agenda, appointment of leader to the Merthyr Tydfil County Borough Council. To consider the report of the Chief Executive, Council Leader Geraint Thomas, please.
Mr. Mayor, further to my letter that I sent you advising that I will be standing down as leader this evening, it's with some sadness that I bring forward this report. However, politics is a numbers game, and it is impossible to run an administration without the workable majority. Before I come to the recommendations, I wish to take the opportunity to say a few brief words. It has been one of the honours of my life to lead Merthyr Tydfil County Borough Council. It has proven to be as rewarding as it has been difficult, and it's a role with more than its fair share of challenges. But for me, it is the best job in the world. The first amongst those I need to thank is my family, and in particular my girlfriend Lisa. Without their support and understanding, I would not have been allowed the freedom to carry out my responsibilities, as it's certainly not a 9-to-5 role. I am incredibly proud of what I, Cabinet and my fellow independents have achieved over the last 7 or so years, and offer my wholehearted gratitude to Indies, past and present, for their passion, hard work and friendship. I would like to thank the Chief Executive, Ellis Cooper, for his dedication and the unfailing cordial advice and time he has given me personally. To the corporate management team, and in particular Alan Owen and Sue Walker, my education portfolio director, I give my full appreciation for the dedication you show and guidance you provide. To our wonderful staff as a whole, I want to put on record my absolute admiration for everything you do for this council and our residents. To the incoming Labour administration, I offer my best wishes. It is a privilege to lead this fine county borough, and no small responsibility either. If I can be bold to say, you have big independent shoes to fill. I so move, Mr. Mayor. Oh, I better go to recommendations. Right. In 2.0, full council appoint a new leader for the remainder of the term. I so move.
Thank you, Councillor Thomas. You have a seconder, please?
Second, Mr.
Councillor
Mayor.
Andrew Barry.
Happy to second, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Barry. Councillor David Jones.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to thank Geraint and his team for their work on behalf of the residents of Merthyr Tydfil County Borough Council. Brent and I first met when we were both elected in the 2008 local government elections.
If you are proposing to move an amendment, if you did that first,
my
and then
apologies,
we
yes.
can come to a speech.
I propose an amendment that Councillor Brent Carter becomes leader of Merthyr Tydfil County Borough Council.
Right. Thank you, Councillor Jones. I can just ask the leader whether he wants that to be moved as a formal amendment or whether he will accept that as an amendment to his original recommendation.
I accept that, Honourable Officer.
Thank you. So, members, you are dealing with a recommendation now that has been amended to propose that Councillor Brent Carter is appointed as leader of the council. So if you then have your questions and any comments on the basis that that is the recommendation.
Okay, members, any questions then, please?
Oh, sorry, yeah. No, you don't need to second it because it's not an amendment. So the recommendation has
agreed.
been seconded and that amendment has been agreed. Yes. So now you're on questions.
Any questions, members?
It's a question? It was, yeah. But it doesn't matter.
Councillor Claire Jones then, please.
Oh, first, I'd like to say chivalry isn't dead, so thank you ever so much. I would just like to ask Councillor Carter, when appointing your cabinet members, are you taking into consideration the members that are already working for your MS and taking from the public purse? And, you know, it's the roles are paid and it means a lot. I'm just wondering, are you going to take that into consideration, please? Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Jones. Councillor Carter?
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Mayor. I'm more than happy to answer that question, although I'm not quite sure of the relevance considering previous cabinet members' work as well, so whether it's a public purse or anything else. However, what the most important thing for me in deciding who the cabinet are is the right people for the right job and the right fit. So if I'm selecting members who are working for the MS, it means they're the right people for the right fit at this right time for this council going forward. Thanks, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Carter. Councillor Geraint Thomas?
As I explained in my earlier speech, that it's not a 9-to-5 role as a leader of the council, and you have to give it dedication, and it needs plenty of time. There's so many outside bodies that you sit on. So my question to Councillor Carter is are you going to give up your full-time job at the Department of Work and Pensions to give the leader's role the respect it deserves?
Councillor Carter?
Yeah, thanks, Councillor Thomas, for the question. I think you already know the answer. At this particular moment in time, I'm sure you can appreciate with the political balance and everything as it is at this moment, I won't be giving up my role immediately. So for the first few months, I will be assessing the situation and monitor it going forward. I'm in a lucky position where I work at the moment. I work hybrid, so I can work from the Civic Centre as needed. I'm also in a very lucky position that if I want to take a career break for the next 2.5 years, I can do that as well. So for the first couple of months, I won't be, is the honest answer, to assess everything. But going forward, I'll revisit it as and when we go forward. And just for some clarity, I suppose, I'm fully aware it's not a 9-to-5 role. And I'm sure my wife sitting in the background will know it's not a 9-to-5 role, because she knows I'm very rarely in the house at this moment in time anyway. So I know I work a lot more hours than that. So thanks, Geraint.
Thank you, Councillor Carter. Any further questions? No. Any comments, please? Excuse me.
Thomas would close the debate technically, so I think if you take David Jones first. Yeah.
Okay. Councillor David Jones first, then, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to thank Geraint and his team for their work on behalf of the residents of Merthyr Tydfil County Borough Council first. Brent and I first met when we were both elected in the 2008 local government elections. Though, as he sometimes reminds me, he has seniority, as I wasn't elected until a by-election in the October. Our friendship has grown ever stronger as the years have passed, and I've seen firsthand how passionate Brent is about Plymouth Ward, Merthyr Tydfil and our residents. Since Brent has taken on the role of leader of the Labour Group, we have seen a different style of leadership, one which has reinvigorated our members to work that little bit harder, that little bit smarter, myself included. Brent's first major challenge came in the form of the resignation of former Councillor Colbrun and the subsequent by-election in Bidlin Ogantry Lewis. Brent led from the front, and his determination to win that seat spread quickly throughout Labour councillors and party members alike. The rest, as they say, is history. Brent was a cabinet member in the last Labour administration, which had negative settlements year on year, and so has an understanding of how difficult the financial future is going to be, with unpalatable decisions to be made, and believes that the best way forward is with a Labour-led administration with cross-party support. Members from outside the Labour group have seen this new direction and also see it as the way forward for the benefit of the residents of Merthyr Tydfil by aligning with the Labour group's vision for the county borough based on honesty and transparency. Brent's 4 terms as a councillor show that he listens to the concerns of residents and acts on them, and that's why he has been re-elected 3 times. This highlights just 2 of the required qualities of a good leader, though Brent has many more, including respect for others, compassion, collaboration, and the courage to act when the going gets tough. Mr. Mayor, it is for these and many more reasons that I'm delighted to propose Councillor Brent Carter for the role of leader of Merthyr Tydfil County Borough Council, and so move. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Jones. Councillor Anna Williams-Price, please.
Thank you. I'm really happy to have the opportunity tonight to speak in support of Brent for leader. As a ward colleague, he's always been a source of support and advice to me, and this has been so helpful since my election in 2022. I've always been grateful to him and to my other colleague, Councillor Gareth Lewis, as I feel we're a great team that works hard for Plymouth Ward. We're a great team because Brent provides endless optimism, even when faced with my pragmatic attitude, which I'll admit sometimes veers into pessimism. He focuses on the future rather than the past. This is a very difficult period for local government, and nobody should shy away from that fact. However, we should also have confidence that there is still opportunity, even in difficult times, to do good work, to make a difference and deliver for residents. I know Brent has that confidence, and I'm happy to support him as leader.
Thank you, Councillor Williams-Price. Councillor Gareth Lewis, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I've known Brent since he moved to Abercarnage in 2004. And I think we initially bonded over our regular and mutual moans and groans about the football clubs we follow. Unfortunately, Brent follows Tottenham Hotspur, and it's even worse for me. I follow Everton. So let's move on quickly. Brent quickly became a good friend, and on a personal and professional basis, always provides professional support. Support and help that's not limited to just me, but given to many others as well. Alongside Anna, as ward colleagues, we work well as a team where our different strengths complement each other. And as we navigate through the highs and lows of life, Brent shows a remarkable resilience, especially when faced with adversity. We do occasionally fall out, but thankfully that's restricted to disagreeing over our team's answers at the Collier's Arms Thursday night quiz. We sometimes even win. Then the other teams think we have cheated. We honestly don't. As we know, Brent has served the communities of Abercarned, Pendrabach and Troedrew as a councillor since 2008. And over those 16 years, his experience includes that of cabinet member, scrutiny chair and school governor. He is part of the fabric of the communities he represents, where amongst his achievements include coaching successful youth football teams, obtaining grant funding for countless community groups, organising community cleanups, volunteering for the Royal British Legion, delivering food parcels to the less fortunate during the COVID lockdown, and he was instrumental in restoring the Abercarned Carnival after a 30-year hiatus. Brent has the qualities to lead the new administration, an administration that will work together in partnership and cooperation. He's determined, committed, and will provide steadfast public service in the best interests of whoever lives, works and learns across the county borough. And finally, I would like to thank Councillor Geraint-Thomas and his cabinet for your leadership since 2022. I genuinely wish you all the best for the work you will continue to do in representing your various wards and communities. No doubt in opposition, you will be constructive and challenging, and that is something we will welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Lewis. Councillor Louise Minette-Vaux, please.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Since taking on the role as leader of the Labour Group, Councillor Carter has motivated change and has shown commitment. A good leader also recognises when mistakes have been made, how to rectify them, and offer solutions to improve. Councillor Carter embraces opportunities to learn, he shows resilience, and takes responsibility for actions, which demonstrates humility. Councillor Carter possesses a clear vision of how we can all work together effectively. Working together, regardless of political ideology, is essential to foster unity, progress and problem solving. While differing beliefs can create division, collaboration across ideologies enables diverse perspectives to come together for the main reason why we're all here, to represent all residents in Merthyr Tydfil. Councillor Carter promotes mutual understanding and will encourage solutions that reflect a broader range of needs and concerns. Councillor Carter has the ability to make everyone feel heard and their contributions valid. It's important that we all focus on common goals rather than what divides us, especially with challenging and uncertain times ahead. We need to ensure that we strengthen our communities and ensure that that decisions are more inclusive, balanced and representative of everybody's interests. Councillor Carter has recognised the strengths in others in this chamber and has welcomed other members to work together and move forward. I am pleased to support Councillor Carter and support this nomination for him to become leader of Merthyr Tydfil County Borough Council. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Minette-Vaux. Councillor Jill Preston, please.
I'd just like to give my full support to Councillor Carter to become our leader. Councillor Carter understands the challenges our council faces. His experience, coupled with a genuine passion for services, makes him the ideal person to lead us forward. Councillor Carter is someone who listens, someone who cares, and someone who will ensure every voice is heard. Let's stand behind Councillor Carter for a brighter future for us all. He is the best of the best.
Thank you, Councillor Preston. Councillor Jamie Scriven, please.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I just wanted to start by reiterating an email I sent out earlier this week, giving my thanks to both Geraint and Andrew and the wider Cabinet for the work that they've done during my time as a councillor. What's been one of the most difficult times I've experienced in local government that I've been volunteering in local government since I was 11 years old, and I don't think I've ever seen local government in such a state that it's in now. It's quite scary to see the things that are coming down the road as well. Understandably, it's a difficult decision for the administration to stand down. Given the recent changes, though, I obviously, as I said in my email, I agree and support Geraint's decision. It's not an easy one, and like you said, it's one of the best jobs in the world. It's hard to give up, but we obviously need to make sure that the administration moving forward can be sustainable from a perspective of political leadership, and that we can make sure the council operates as it should. So I do pass all my thanks to you all. I look forward to working with you in any capacity as ward councillors and members of the council. Coming on to Councillor Carter, I'll keep it nice and short, thankfully. I think a lot of people have said a lot about your work ethic, and I know how hard you work myself, knowing you personally. But I think one of the things I respect about you, Brent, the most is your compassion for your family, your friends, your colleagues. I think when something's wrong, there's not a day where Brent won't be on the phone 3 times a day checking how you are. The level of support that he gives to people around him is going to be a great asset in his position as leader to take people forward. So I have a massive respect for that. And I also fully support the fact that Brent has made great efforts to ensure there'll be cross-party support and make sure that everyone's involved in the decision-making going forward, because like myself, he understands there's 30 people in the room, and given the challenges we'll face coming down the road, it's going to take 30 people in order to constructively put a plan together, make sure that we're ready to take on those challenges as they come. So it's for those reasons that Brent has my full support to become leader of the council.
Thank you, Councillor Scriven. Councillor Brent Carter, please.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. I'm not quite sure where to start. It's quite overwhelming, actually. Listening to some of the comments here this evening is really emotional and touching. For me, I just want to set out a case for change that I believe can help this council better meet the challenges that lie ahead. At the core of this change is a need to listen, to deliver positive change, to cooperate both in the chamber and with others, to take pride in our communities and above all be transparent. As a leader of the Labour group, I believe I now have the support needed to make this change. I offered a hand of cooperation to other members, and I'm delighted that this has been accepted. I extend this hand of cooperation to all members in this chamber this evening. I, along with other elected members, attended Councillor John Thomas Mayor service on the 8th of September 2024, and I might add it was probably one of the best services I've attended in all my 17 years I've been a councillor. It was excellent, and listening to the choir was really inspirational, and the words from the pastor, David Powell, was excellent. It truly was. At the end of the service, a dedication was read out by all in attendance, including elected members, and I just quote a couple of lines from there. These words are no truer than at this very moment. We declare that we believe in community, a community where we can all work together for the common good as we seek together to make a better life. Other declarations were made with that we reject the idea that nothing can be done. The declaration ended by saying, today we commit ourselves to work together to make this belief a reality. This is a reminder to everyone why have we been called to a life of service, to whom we serve and who we are accountable to. I, along with the support of the Labour group and joint working with other independent members, declare that this will be at the heart of every decision that we make to every resident of Merthyr Tydfil and to each other. Merthyr Tydfil deserves a strong, transparent and effective leadership team working together for the betterment of everyone. Importantly, the lesson we can take forward is that we can all learn from each other, as no single person holds all the knowledge. For me, Mr. Mayor, it will be a huge privilege to lead, but I also recognise a big responsibility to the people of this county borough. I would like to go on record to thank Councillor Geraint Thomas and the Cabinet for their work they have done and the contributions they have made. As leader, I will ensure that this transition is quick and a full handover is completed to ensure that no stone is left unturned. This will ensure that scrutiny and due diligence can be done so that we know what current position the authority is in. And for me, this is important. It's crucial to remember that none of us are infallible. We're all human beings. We all make mistakes. Mistakes offer valuable lessons. It allows us an opportunity for self-reflection, and we have a more informed perspective. It is a sign that each of us can learn from errors, to be forgiven, build our understanding, and build resilience moving forward. I will carry those lessons into this role. There's a lot of work ahead to make the case for Merthyr Tydfil County Borough. I will work alongside our MP, our MS, Welsh and UK governments, and everyone else who shares our values and mission to make a change for the better. I know we must hit the ground running as we have the budget cycle ahead. The budget setting process must be part of this change. We need to ensure that we are working differently, but most importantly, together for each and every resident of Merthyr Tydfil. With your support, we can all get to work today. Thanks, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Carter. Councillor Geraint Thomas, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just briefly from me. Obviously, Councillor Carter is a Labour appointment and proposed by the Labour group as leader of the council. So I think it is only right that the Labour group vote him in as the leader of the council. So we will be abstaining as an independent opposition. And could I ask for a recorded vote as well, please?
Thank you, Councillor Thomas. In order for there to be a recorded vote, there need to be 5 people proposing that. So can I have a show of hands of how many people support the idea? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, so that will call for a recorded vote, Mr. Mayor. So on that basis, I will call out the name of each councillor in alphabetical order, and I will ask you whether you are voting for the motion, against the motion, or abstaining. That will be the same for the 2 councillors on the screen, but your names should come up just in alphabetical order as I read from my list. So, in alphabetical order, that gives me Councillor Andrew Barry first. Are you for, against, or abstaining?
I'll be abstaining, moreover.
Councillor Brent Carter, are you for, against, or abstaining?
It'd be silly to vote against myself, wouldn't it?
You would.
So I'm for.
Thank you. Councillor Ernie Goldsworthy, are you for, against, or abstaining?
For.
Thank you. Councillor Kevin Gibbs, are you for, against, or abstaining?
For.
Thank you. Councillor David Hughes, are you for, against, or abstaining? Abstaining. Thank you. Councillor David Isaac, are you for, against, or abstaining? For. Thank you. Councillor Claire Jones, are you for, against, or abstaining?
Abstain.
Thank you. Councillor Clive Jones, are you for, against, or abstaining?
For.
Thank you. Councillor David Jones, are you for, against, or abstaining?
For.
Thank you. Councillor Michelle Jones, are you for, against, or abstaining?
Against.
Thank you. Councillor Paula Layton, are you for, against, or abstaining?
Abstaining.
Thank you. Councillor Gareth Lewis, are you for, against, or abstaining?
For.
Thank you. Councillor Louise Minot-Vokes, are you for, against, or abstaining?
For.
Thank you. Councillor Jill Preston, are you for, against, or abstaining? Are you able to unmute yourself, Councillor Preston? I think she has. Can you hear us now, Councillor Preston?
I'm losing some signal. The microphone is going off and on.
So can you tell me, are you for, against, or abstaining?
For.
Thank you. Councillor Gareth Richards, are you for, against, or abstaining?
For.
Thank you. Councillor Darren Roberts, are you for, against, or abstaining?
For.
Thank you. Councillor Declan Salmon, are you for, against, or abstaining?
Abstaining.
Thank you. Councillor Jamie Scriven, are you for, against, or abstaining?
For.
Thank you. Councillor Bill Smith, are you for, against, or abstaining?
For.
Thank you. Councillor Michelle Simmons, are you for, against, or abstaining?
Abstain.
Thank you. Councillor Geraint Thomas, for, against, or abstaining?
Abstaining.
Thank you. Councillor Ian Thomas, for, against, or abstaining?
For.
Thank you. Councillor John Thomas, are you for, against or abstaining?
Abstain.
Thank you. Councillor Scott Thomas, are you for, against or abstaining?
For.
Thank you. Councillor Clive Tuvey, for, against? Against. Councillor Anna Williams-Price, are you for, against or abstaining? Thank you. So we have 2 against, 8 abstentions and 16 in favour of the motion, and therefore the motion is carried.
Okay. Excuse me. Okay. Item 11 on the agenda, to deal with any other urgent business or correspondence. I have one. I'd like to invite the new leader, Councillor Brent Carter, to speak, please.
Thank you, Mr Mayor, and thank you for allowing me the opportunity to address the Chamber here this evening. It's much appreciated. Mr Mayor, on Thursday the 5th of September, that marked a momentous occasion where we saw Councillor Jill Preston elected as our newest Labour councillor, representing the Bedlinog and Trelewis ward. This was a remarkable achievement, as we hadn't had a Labour councillor elected there for 20 years. Jill will be an excellent representative for both communities. She is hard-working, committed, and has shown over the years her desire to help and support her constituents. I heard during the campaign that Jill is a force of nature. Indeed, she has already hit the ground running, completing casework. I, like all my Labour colleagues, look forward to working with her over the remaining term of office. Welcome, Jill, and good luck. Tonight, we are here to witness a change of administration and the introduction of a change of leadership style, one that will be resilient and dynamic, which will transform the authority into a fit-for-purpose organisation ready for the challenges that lie ahead. As an administration, we must be realistic, honest, and above all, transparent. We will actively listen to people's opinions while being open about the difficult choices we may face. We see this as key to meeting the financial challenges that we know await us going forward. I am acutely aware that the organisation needs to change in terms of structure and the delivery of key services. This will be one of our initial priorities, as this is crucial to securing the long-term sustainability of the authority. We want to maintain cooperation within the council chamber, along with community groups and our local, regional and national partners. This is essential to help Merthyr Tydfil's case in providing the best start for life for our young people, for a stronger economy with better transport services, to provide homes for people, to deliver safe and cleaner communities, and to provide the care that people so desperately need. As an administration, for us to be successful in all of this, we will ensure relationship building and effective communication is at the heart of everything we do. We will need to work together to ensure Merthyr Tydfil achieves great things, and above all, we as an authority delivers for the people of our much-loved town. For me, something we need to do more is to be proud. We need to foster a spirit of pride and recognise the diversity in our communities, celebrating all our successes as an example and inspiration to others. In terms of myself, I've lived in Merthyr Tydfil all my life, and I can honestly say that I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. I'm extremely proud of our town, and I can say here tonight, I will give everything I have to ensure Merthyr Tydfil has a strong voice across all platforms. I've experienced many highs and lows, and have come back from depths of despair, aided by the support of my family, friends and constituents, who have from 2008 trusted me with their vote. I'm not quite sure what I can say now without becoming a little bit emotional. However, to become leader of this council is without exception the biggest honour and privilege I could ever have been given. Mr Mayor, I would like to take this opportunity to say a few thank yous. Firstly, thank you to everyone who supported me here tonight. Secondly, thanks to all our hard-working, dedicated, committed officers who really do an exceptional job. I'm extremely fortunate to be the leader of the Labour group here in Merthyr Tydfil, a group of people who are extremely talented, dedicated and committed. Thank you for your confidence, support and loyalty. It really does mean so much. Lastly, Mr Mayor, can I thank my wife Tanya, my children Tammy, Aaron and Jack, and my mother Glenys, who have stood by my side throughout my life, through good times and bad, and their support has been unwavering. This is something I will never forget. I know whatever comes my way, I have them and a vast number of friends in my corner. This leads on to the final part for me this evening, and I take great pleasure in announcing my new cabinet to begin with immediate effect. Deputy Leader and Cabinet Member for Neighbourhood Services, Councillor David Jones. The Cabinet Member for Education, Councillor Gareth Lewis. The Cabinet Member for Social Services, Councillor Louise Minette-Vaux. The Cabinet Member for Governance and Resources, Councillor Anna Williams-Price. And the Cabinet Member for Regeneration, Housing and Public Protection, Councillor Jamie Scriven. Thank you, Mr Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Carter. To item 12 of the agenda, to receive communications from their worship the Mayor. I have none, so I declare the meeting closed. Thank you.